In this video, I'd like to talk about some of the considerations that you should have as a mid-sized manufacturer trying to leverage new technologies like AI and IoT to bring new products and services to market. We're going to talk about a company that is doing this very, very well and think about some of the underlying trends that are going to be driving all OEMs of all sizes from large, mid to small into leveraging more of these technologies to stay competitive. So let's jump into it. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Manny Bernabe. I am a former data science lead for an AI IoT unicorn startup. Previous to that, I was in the financial services space, and today I run a consultancy where we help mid-sized manufacturers go to market with new AI and IoT initiatives. So let's kick off by talking about the poster child for AI and IoT and who is doing this very, very well, and what that tells us about what's going on in the marketplace and what are some of the trends that we need to be paying attention to as mid-sized OEMs. If you're looking for a company that is doing AI IoT very, very well, you have to look at Tesla. Tesla today is worth more than all of their rivals combined. So that means that if you were to roll up Toyota, Volkswagen, Daimler, BMW, Ford, and GM together, they would not be worth as much as Tesla is worth. So Tesla is an absolute powerhouse. They're doing something very, very well. And so we want to think about, well, what's making Tesla successful? And you can look at a couple of core reasons for this. You might consider the fact that they're riding this mega trend of transitioning from fossil fuels to electric vehicles. However, there have been other electric vehicles companies in the past that have not had the same amount of success as Tesla has had. You can think about Elon Musk being a once-in-a-generation tech lead, but we're not all going to be Elon, and we're not all going to have Elon Musk to run our companies. That said, we can learn from what Elon is doing at Tesla, what strategies he's implementing to drive the success of Tesla within a very competitive space of automotive manufacturing. And for me, the key strategy that I'm seeing with Tesla is this usage of AI and IoT. I would think that Tesla is really sort of this nice marrying of these two technologies, and Elon and Tesla are leveraging this to do a bang-up job within their particular space. Let's consider the IoT part of this equation. First, a Tesla vehicle is highly connected. It's transmitting a lot of data via cloud services back to home base. Engineers can then use that data to make changes in real time on the factory floor. Product managers can use that data to make updates and changes to the next version of vehicles, and they can also use that data to push over-the-air updates to their existing fleet of vehicles, all creating a ton of more value for their customers. The AI component comes in with taking that data and then creating new services and products on top of that existing service or machinery that they've already shipped to customers. So you may be familiar with full self-driving capabilities that is currently in beta for Tesla. They're going to be rolling that out pretty shortly, but essentially they're leveraging the data that they're getting from their vehicles. They're training autonomous driving software off that data, and then they're pushing that back to the vehicles and selling that as a service to their existing fleet of customers. And so in my mind, Tesla is a very powerful merger of AI and IoT. The IoT is collecting data, they're using that in real time to make their products better, but then they're also leveraging that data to build new services and products on top of the initial machine that they sell to generate more revenue. And this revenue is services based, it's SaaS based, so it's a lot more valuable to investors than just selling a one-time piece of machinery. And so that is, to me, the masterstroke of what Tesla is doing, and part of the reason why their valuation is so much higher than all of their other competitors combined. Now, that said, Tesla is just early to this particular trend, or they're just the best at it. What you're going to find is that all OEMs are going to be forced towards trying to diversify their revenue mix to include more services and more software. And the underpinning for those additional revenue sources are going to come from AI and IoT. You're going to have IoT to collect all that data, and then you're going to leverage AI and analytics to then transform that data into insights that you can then sell back to your customer base. All right, and if you're a mid-size OEM or manufacturer, then you have to approach this in a slightly different way than, say, a large manufacturer might. You don't have the resources that a John Deere has. You don't have the access that a Caterpillar has. But there's some other advantages that you want to play as a mid-size OEM. Number one is I find that my clients tend to be a little bit faster, a little bit more nimble, a little bit more agile. That's effective in terms of prototyping new concepts, going to market, and seeing what works. You can run a little bit faster than, say, some of the bigger guys with more of their bureaucracy. Secondly, I tend to see better leadership at the mid-sized firms. The senior leaders tend to be a little bit more connected with what's going on the ground floor. They understand their advantage a little bit more. They understand their technology a little bit more. And so that vision is helpful in helping to fund and push some of these initiatives forward at your company. And thirdly, and this is a key point, is you're finding better tooling that is being made available, from the data analytics, the collection tooling, the AI, machine learning platforms and capabilities that you need to bring something like this to market. More of that is being made available. There are more options for you. You no longer have to be a big Fortune 100 company to tap some of these tools and capabilities. So from that perspective, that's very, very good. That said, there are some cons. You're not going to have the big R&D budgets that a Caterpillar is going to have, that a John Deere is going to have. You have to be a little bit more lean. You have to be a little bit more tactful in terms of how you spend your capital. Secondly is talent access. You still need data engineers, data scientists, back-end folks, database people. These folks are hard to come by, and as a mid-sized firm, it's going to be difficult for you to attract that talent and to leverage that resource to go to market with your new initiatives. And thirdly is you're going to have a little bit less vendor buyer power. So as you're trying to set up new initiatives and negotiate new agreements, you might not have the same leverage as some of the bigger guys when you're trying to build something custom and trying to integrate something into your workflow that is maybe white label in nature. So those are some of the considerations that you have to be thinking about as a mid-size manufacturer. That's it. There still is a lot of promise as a mid-size manufacturer in terms of tapping these technologies of AI and IoT. My goal with this series that I am going to be putting out on a regular basis for mid-size manufacturers is to help you leverage the experience that I've had in terms of launching new AI and IoT initiatives into some pretty big ecosystems across spaces like semiconductor manufacturing, aviation, transportation, military, and defense. I want to take that knowledge and package that up and provide that back to you as something that you might find valuable as you're looking to go to market with new AI and IoT initiatives. In this upcoming series, I'd like to tackle a couple of things that are going to be helpful to you. What is an appropriate strategy for an AI IoT go-to-market strategy? What are some of the pitfalls to avoid? What do you need? Who do you need to contract? And at what stage? How do you navigate the AI IoT vendor ecosystem? And other questions like that. If this is something that you're interested in, feel free to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. You can also go to this link here that you see on the screen, and you can input your information, and I'll send you a notice whenever I produce a new piece of content that is designed for helping mid-sized OEMs go to market with new AI and IoT initiatives. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any other questions, if you have any other topics that you'd love for me to cover in this series, feel free to drop them in the comments section below or email me at info@bigplasma.ai. Thanks.